3 coplanar points, and bam, there's
I'm not
the
chunky,
radius
but
of the Earth.
On the level.
The way I phrase it is a monument to the curvature of the Earth. It really is.
Level.
It really is.
Level.
And bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
Known as Brad Wegner, according to his YouTube
Okay, the one that thinks he
tab.
gets attacked all the time. What was it? Exploring? Is it exploring the plane? Was that? Does that sound familiar? Of a guy. You remember when Ruhif went in there? Onto Ranties that day right. To do that. Initially, when he did about his angle, he went on. Ranty did a shout out for a YouTuber.
Don't remember. I remember Ruif being on there years ago, but don't remember that.
Oh, we just destroyed Ruhif the other week.
Yeah, I think it is exploring the plane.
Yeah, it is. I found it here. Share this video. Where do you want it? In the. It's only 3 minutes, so you should be able to see it. Well, look at how quick's that? Fucking hell! Look at that. He's got Blackpool Tower in the picture. 90 miles. That is. He's got way more than I got.
90 miles.
Picture taken in 2016, so that's like a really old picture. But I mean, that's what I got, but not, not as clear as that, because of the greying of the sky and the land. And obviously, I only had a P1000. This guy, the guy who took this, is obviously a professional photographer. I think the story is he's he was a newspaper photographer that was just driving, and he saw that and decided to take a picture of it, because he obviously knew that it was not there that often.
Yeah, the name sounded familiar. Stephen Cheesley or whatever. Cheesley.
Yeah.
Doesn't Bendy have anything to say?
I'd like him to kind of elaborate on who he thinks I've been nasty to.
Me. You're always nasty to me.
You?
Yeah.
That's allowed, Emma.
You're nasty to everybody, DP.
How do you justify that?
I've listened to enough of you.
Have I ever been nasty to you?
Oh, slightly.
So, slightly. What is slightly nasty?
Just a little bit nasty. You've been nasty to other people.
I'm either nasty or I'm not nasty.
You can be slightly nasty.
How have I been nasty to you, Brad?
Well, I don't know. Not listening to my points.
Not listening to your bullshit, you mean?
Saying I'm wrong.
Retarded. That is a retarded fucking response. I can't believe you just said that. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Saying I'm wrong. Saying you're wrong.
Oh my god, I was just about to say the same thing. What a... Oh my god.
That is such a baller response. By me saying you're wrong, I'm being nasty to you.
That's you being nasty. Yeah.
Well, usually you
Brad,
call
you are
people...
such a snowflake.
No, really. Usually people call people names. You go to
when
the
have I
name
called
calling.
you names?
I don't think you've called me names.
Well, there you go. I'm not nasty to everyone, am I? And by me saying you're wrong, expressing your belief system. I'm not being nasty to you, mate. I hate to break it to you.
Okay, you've been nice to me a little bit.
So I'm
I
not
had other
nasty.
people.
I'm not nasty to everybody, am I? So you've
I had-
contradicted yourself, Brad.
I had a different list. It was like Crow and Ruhib.
Well, Crow doesn't know basic
Kosho.
geometry.
Well, I
Crow doesn't
beg
know
to differ.
basic geometry.
I think he's pretty good
Well,
at it.
he thinks
Are they in your
you
gang?
need maths and numbers to do geometry. You don't. Crow
Yeah.
is an idiot.
I wouldn't say that.
They're your
No, I
boys,
would.
Brad.
How y'all been? It's been a while since I've talked to you.
Yeah.
Not,
Well, it sounds
not
like
really.
you've been. Sounds like you've been talking to DP, or
Oh, just
DP's
a little
not
bit
been
in the
listening
chat.
to you, or is this like a long-term thing? Is this?
No, I
have
just
you
came
held
in,
this
just came in the
since
chat.
last time.
I just came in the chat, and I wanted to clear up a thing. I'm not Chunky Butt Boy.
Nobody's
not
chunky
chunky
butt
butt-
boy.
Boy.
I'm not chunky butt boy. Is that what you
There's
say?
a Chucky
Is that a
Brad
direct
boy.
quote?
That's a direct quote, yeah.
It's
I'm
Chucky
not
Brad
chunky
boy anyway.
butt boy. What about they or them? Are you they or them?
Nope.
Oh yeah, who's they?
No. Do you
That's
have any
chunky- that's chunky
affiliation
butt boy.
with
Painful.
they and them and Flat Earth Bane?
Nope.
No
I-
affiliation with them at all.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay.
Who that is?
Is it a that?
How do you know it's one person?
Usually it's one person behind a name.
We've named like 3 or 4 different people, personas, internet potatoes, and you have stated you have no idea who that is, knowing that is one person.
I didn't know it was plural.
I kind of
You
believe
should have
him
said,
because
"I've
he
no
didn't know it
idea
was
who
multiple.
they are."
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you say Flat Earth Bane, I think that's one person. I didn't know it was plural.
That is one person, but Flat Earth Bane, Chunky
Yes,
Butt
he's
Boy,
very confused.
Chunky Brad Boy, they and them. There's 5 different names there, and you've referred to them as a singular. So I think you're
Yeah,
lying.
they're all different people.
Well, when you say they and when you say them, that's plural, right?
But it is one person on YouTube,
I-
right?
Well, I
You
don't
called
know
it
who you're
that.
talking about.
Why did you
I don't
call
even know
it
who
that
they.
then? One of them was called they and them, and you still called it that. That's really weird.
Oh,
I really don't know. I don't
Hang
know
on,
who they.
He's
hang
even
on.
tripping.
Stop.
He's even
Oh,
tripping
oh.
himself up.
Stop.
I'm not.
stop.
No, I'm not.
Stop.
I don't know who they
Hang
is.
on.
I don't know who them is.
Wait.
I'm not. I haven't been in
Hello?
this
Can you
conversation.
not hear me?
Yeah, I'm stopping.
Thank you. I did say stop about 20 times then.
I'm
Um,
sorry. I'm trying to get a point out.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We also have another guest. We have another Brad. Let's say hello to
Butt
Brad number
boy.
2.
Oh, yeah.
There you
DP.
go.
Isn't that amazing?
All right.
Morning. Are you
So
driving?
The other me is here.
The other you is here.
They are here.
It's not me.
You are both here at the same time.
We're not the same person. Weird, eh, Bev?
Pardon?
Are you not?
I was just telling them
How
that.
convenient.
I just came in the chat and I wanted to clear up a thing. I'm not Chunky Butt Boy.
Yeah,
No, we are the same person.
you are.
Yeah.
No, I mean
Take them-
he said he's not Chunky Butt Boy.
I am not.
I'm not Chunky Butt Boy either.
So now nobody's Chunky Butt Boy.
He's denied all
That's
knowledge
right,
of
nobody
you.
Yeah, that's what Emma said.
I just came in the chat and I wanted to clear up a thing. I'm not Chunky Butt Boy.
That's right. Because Emma can read.
So you're gonna have a little conflab. Do you want to long time no see? You're both on the
Well,
same meme
yeah,
or something.
do you two
Yeah,
want a
chat.
reunion or a
Yeah,
chat?
chat
have
with each other.
I have no idea who this guy is.
I don't think we've ever discussed anything before last time.
You've got some common ground though, haven't you?
Brad. Same
We live on
name.
the same continent, and we both know the shape of the Earth.
And do you both think you can get a two-dimensional surface to wrap around a ball?
All surfaces are two-dimensional, though.
Ooh.
Everything you touch is two-dimensional, according to you, Butt
Do
Boy.
you agree with that,
The surface
Brad?
is the surface. No.
Scientifically,
the surface is two-dimensional.
does science? What does science say?
Science the shit out of it.
Yeah, go on then. Science the shit out of
So
geometry
how do you
and
get
explain to us how
curve?
science a two-dimensional surface around a three-dimensional object. Go on.
I think the other Brad could do it better. I'll tag.
How do you curve a two-dimensional? How do you get the third dimension?
There's only two dimensions.
On a sphere?
On the surface here, yes.
But the surface goes all the way around it.
Paige, how many dimensions does a straight line have?
Why is he talking about a straight line when we're talking about spheres and surfaces?
Paige,
His
your voice got really
obfuscation,
deep and British for a second.
his obfuscation is just unbelievable.
Yeah, sorry,
know exactly where
you made me go speechless for a second because we're talking about 3 dimensions on a sphere, and you go to a straight line which has nothing to do with a sphere or 3 dimensions.
Do you want to take maybe 2 minutes to try to understand it? Or not?
Imagine.
Just tell me by how you wrap a two. Don't tell me about lines. Explain it so that I understand how you've wrapped a two-dimensional plane around the whole of a ball.
It's not a two-dimensional
without creating
anymore.
a third.
It's not a
dimension.
two-dimensional plane.
It's a two-dimensional.
Seriously, are you serious that you honestly believe?
Paige, a straight line has one dimension.
Run your hand around it. Run your hand around the ball. Listen to me.
Stop bringing your bias in. I'm
No. Pick up a basketball. Run your hand around it. You've got up, down, front, back, side, side. What on earth is two-dimensional about that?
It exists in 3D space. I've never disagreed with that. A one-dimensional line.
Then what the fuck are you talking about?
A line, a straight
We've been
line
asking him this for weeks. Weeks and weeks we've been asking him this.
Do you actually want the answer?
And he's still not come
do you
back
want to
with a
listen
good
to
answer.
GP obfuscate?
He's still not ever told us what the fuck he is talking about.
I've showed you links. You haven't shown me one. All the links I've shown you.
Wikipedia. Well done. Yeah. You get
not just Wikipedia.
all your information from Wikipedia. Nice.
Wikipedia and Google also say Earth's a ball, so they talk a whole load of bullshit, don't they?
Two for two.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm not the brightest person on the face of the planet, but I know a ball has 3 dimensions, and the surface of it goes all the way around.
Got it.
Therefore, it necessitates it being also 3D.
Do you want to have a conversation for a minute or so to understand or not?
You think you can have a conversation?
I don't think I've got any way of understanding how you've done that, but go for it.
So a straight line has one dimension, correct?
If you say so, okay. Just say what you need to say without.
When you curve a line, does it gain a dimension?
I don't know, actually. I wouldn't think so. It's still just a line, isn't it?
Yes, you're right. It does not gain a dimension when you curve a line.
Can you just, rather than asking me, just explain how? Just tell me.
Instead of getting triggered,
it's late here. I'm tired.
Instead of getting triggered,
yeah, come on, mate. It's like 11 o'clock. Just.
So when you curve a flat plane that is two-dimensional, it doesn't gain a dimension either. Do you understand it?
Right, hang on, butt boy. Right,
Who's the
you
boy?
are taking a one-dimensional line, putting a curve on it, and taking it into a two-dimensional space. How would you express that in a three-dimensional realm that we live in? How would you demonstrate that? You are taking a two-dimensional plane and bending it around a three-dimensional object. That can be
I would
expressed
think
in
that
a
would
three-dimensional
turn
world.
it into that is what causes that plane to then become a 3D thing, because you've wrapped it around a 3D object.
Between 0 and infinity, how many times do you need to
Stop
back that plane
obfuscating,
or
you
hold that
prick.
plane?
Answer the
Shut up!
fucking
I'm answering the
question.
fucking question, retard.
No, you're not. You're obfuscating.
Oh, come
Going
on, you
into
two.
infinity
How often-
imaginary land. You idiot.
How many times do you need to bend a plane to give it a thickness?
Third dimension isn't thickness.
What is the third dimension, Bev? You said
As
it
soon
last.
as you bend it, you're giving it.
We've been round and round and round and round, right? I will tell you, right? The dimensions are length, breadth, thickness, or length, breadth, height, or X, Y, Z, right? They are all perpendicular to each other.
X, Y, and Z are
right. So them being perpendicular to each other gives you the 3 dimensions, right? Now, when we say 2 dimensions, we are talking 2 of those dimensions, i.e. length and breadth. They can be expressed as a 2-dimensional surface, like a cartoon, like a drawing, like a flat plane, right? That is easy to express. Now, if you move away from that flat plane, you enter the 3rd dimension, i.e. perpendicular to it.
I got it. Deb. So it's the 2D is the circle, the circle flat. The 3D is that puffed out sphere. So as soon as you puff that,
yeah.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Bev. As soon as you puff that sphere out, you've given yourself the 3rd dimension. Because
you've given it height.
Even if you did a square in 2D, if you drew a square, you would just be drawing the square. There would be no
cube,
no bigness to it.
Yeah. It's the 3-dimensional form of the 2-dimensional
like
shape.
drawing a rabbit on a piece of paper and then taking it off that paper and blowing it up so it becomes a 3D shape.
Mm-hmm.
And because a sphere is undevelopable, it is the only shape that has this problem. No. So why they ever chose to live on a sphere?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They thought the sphere was the perfect shape.
It's like a challenge, isn't it?
That's their religion, that they started thinking a sphere was the perfect shape. Huh. Wow.
So the circumference of a circle is one-dimensional.
Okay, no. Before you finish, can we just establish what your 2 dimensions are? You please express them in that form, then we can try and imagine what it is that you're talking about. How do you get to the idea? Go on.
In the real world, they're expressed as meters squared, which indicates 2 dimensions. Also area.
I'd love to see him draw this. Because I'd draw a circle with up, down, side to side. That's my 2D. Up, down, side, 2D sphere. I mean, circle. But how the fuck do you do that on a sphere?
You're not basing everything around the fact that you measure an area in like meters squared, are you?
Absolutely, that's why it's meters squared.
That's what your whole argument is based upon.
Meters squared on a circle.
That supports my argument. Mathematics has a lot of explanation, but that supports my argument.
Yeah, do you know the mathematics behind a sphere?
I don't have it memorized. Is it x squared plus y squared plus z?
Do you not?
Well,
Do you know what the mathematics behind a circle is then? Surely,
X plus Y squared.
surely everybody knows what the circle is, right?
So what does that have to do with?
So
it being
what's the mathematics behind a circle?
Do you know the mathematics behind the circumference?
Chunky, what's the mathematics behind a circle, please?
The circumference.
Why does he always answer the question with a question?
Hang on, Paige, let
The
him answer.
circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. That's not a question.
That's not the circumference. We're not talking about the circumference, are we?
Yeah, we're talking about one dimension. 2 pi r. Measured in meters.
Yeah, with the sphere is 4 pi r, right? Squared.
The surface of the sphere, yes. 4
Right,
pi
okay.
r squared. So you'll get meter squared.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
volume.
Yeah, do you know why, though? Because pi r squared is the area of a circle, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
So
Four
mathematically,
fit on a sphere.
a sphere is just 4 circles.
Yes.
Isn't that weird?
Well, it's the area.
Yeah. Yeah, the area of a sphere is 4 circles of similar radius. Wow!
The area.
Does that not make you go, holy shit? That's some
awesome.
really weird shit going on there. It's also equal to a cylinder of equal height wrapped around the circumference of
my
a sphere,
calculus is rusty, but
isn't it?
Isn't
So
4 pi r
that's how you
squared-
could get imagine a map. Wow, like they have maps like that in that cylinder shape, as though that's like based on 4 pi r squared, but that's a
So
square.
that's like 4 pi.
Yeah, it's just 4 circles of whatever the
Wow.
radius is.
Yeah.
It's
And
freaky.
what does that have?
Well, it's like you're basing your whole fact of everything on the surface of a sphere being 2-dimensional, on the fact that it has some really freaky maths involved in the area calculations for a sphere versus the circle that's involved. That is actually in 2D.
Brad might be better at what's the antiderivative of 4 pi r squared?
But that doesn't, like I say, that doesn't make
pi
the
r
surface of a sphere a 2-dimensional surface. It just means the maths is easier to express in that way.
Have you noticed how you've backed him into a corner, Bev, and now he's just spouting gibberish about derivatives and mathematical
And he's
bullshit.
mumbling.
And he's mumbling as well.
I'm not
I can barely make
You
him
are
out.
backed into a corner, butt boy. You have nowhere to go except mumble about derivatives.
It's like you're just getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
It does sound that way, doesn't it? It's like you're shrinking.
Yeah. Shrinking
If
into
I
the
remember
I
my
squeeze your head.
anymore.
I squeeze your
If I
head.
remember my
I
calculus,
squeeze your head. Squeeze your head.
Canadian.
Squeeze your head.
You get kids in the hall in the UK?
I squeeze your head.
Let him
Squeeze your head.
talk.
So it's because the volume of a circle is 4/3 pi r cubed.
Oh yeah, you just look that up.
Cubed.
No, I remembered it because it's the
Oh, we gave him
antiderivative
enough time.
of pi r squared.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Yeah, did I look it up while I'm driving?
Squeezing your head.
Brad can back me up on that. He probably knows that. You guys, look,
Oh,
you
is that
guys
why you
actually
sound like
asked
you're 50 million miles away?
Yeah, that's the satellite he didn't book with Jeff.
miles away from you. Catch your blue waffle.
Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
God, now you really... Yeah.
There he
Robot.
goes.
Isn't it funny their mics always go shit when they...
It's
get
Driving
always
through
out.
rock cuts.
it's always with
When
this
I drive
Brad.
through rock cuts. Yeah, because I'm
It's the
driving through
rocks
rock
in your
cuts.
head.
How
Yes,
many
we
times-
know, butt boy.
Maybe
I'm
that's
driving
why they
through
picked
rock-
a sphere, Bev,
my
because
head.
of the
How big is
funky
my
maths that
Yeah.
you can do with it.
It's not
That's
funky
really
math.
interesting, you know.
High school math. It's high
Hey, can
school math. Paige.
It's
Did you not take
calculus. It's nothing to do with the real world. Calculus has nothing to do with reality. Absolutely nothing.
Really?
And it's
Then
all
why
they
does it work?
use to back
it's a
themselves
concept,
up with their claims.
language.
It's all calculus.
What- What is calculus, Beth?
Oh.
Or PP?
Can I jump in for 1 minute, please?
Sure.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I have to go to work, so I'm gonna be heading out. But it was nice to meet you, Brad, the other Brad.
Yes, other Brad.
Yeah. Okay. Be good.
We'll meet in
Enjoy your day.
Beth's
See ya.
night or DP
Take
stream.
care.
Bye.
See
Take
ya.
care. Wow, you're getting a 2 Brad spanking, DP. Are you okay?
2 Brad spanking.
Spanking? What did he just do?
Ew.
No way.
Hang on. That sounds like a video I might wish to purchase.
2 Brad spanking.
I love that you put these videos out.
Is that one of those ones in the back of the
Oh,
catalogue?
dear.
Oh shit! I said
But, boy, you're
videos,
such
didn't
an
I? That
idiot.
means I'm old.
Yep.
Oops! Dang it! Gave it away.
God, even my kids had videos when they were first born. I remember my elder son had Blue's Clues on video, like 50 million of the fucking things.
Yeah,
Orange
and
videos.
cassette tapes as well, and
Yeah.
floppy disks.
And then CD. Oh, floppy disks. God, that's going back, isn't it? And those cartridges you put in the Atari and the Nintendos and shit. You take them and blow in them, get them to work.
Anyway,
again.
we're showing our age now, Paige. Shh.
8-track car stereos, they were the ones.
I used to have a 10-disc CD changer in my car. Haha.
Yeah, my mum had like an 8-track one or something in her boot. It was just so big. I'm like, oh my God.
But boy, run out of signal at last.
No. You guys went on.
So,
So I did interrupt.
so do you just? So why? I really don't understand what
That's true.
difficulty you're having with understanding, doing the math and actual reality.
I'm not having difficulty at all. When you look up, is the surface? What is the
Okay.
They looked it up I think it was yesterday. They asked Google, surface of a sphere was 2-dimensional, and it said yes. And then they backtracked.
No.
It'll show you
Well, I
the same.
suppose if their math.
Don't look it up.
Why are you making bullshit claims, Buttboy?
Did it say the surface was 2-dimensional yesterday?
Why are you making bullshit claims?
No, I'm
Buttboy?
not. I posted it.
Who was backtracking?
Well.
Who was backtracking, Buttboy?
Nobody. I posted
Well,
it.
you
in the chat.
you
Hang on, what did he
stated
just
that
claim
they
that Google has
backtracked.
actually.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah,
Google has actually
we
changed.
know, right? We know that spherical geometry is the geometry of the 2-dimensional surface of a sphere. We know that, right?
All geometry. Any surface.
Oh.
No.
No.
Like, did you not even
The
read that the other day?
Oh, wow.
Is the surface of a cube.
Yeah, he doesn't. Bev, he doesn't read the citations that he posts. That's half of his problem. He just.
Okay, so
how the hell can you say a square is 2-dimensional? You're going up.
Cube.
You've got.
Page.
Yeah, a cube. How on earth is that 2D?
The surface of a cube. How is it 3D?
It's a load of squares which are planar surfaces. They are 2-dimensional. Yes.
So
The surface of a sphere
Square.
is not.
Everything
So
he
when you
touches is
curve a
2-dimensional.
line-
Yeah.
When you curve a line, you do not gain a dimension.
So
But when
because you
curve
can
a plane-
separate those squares,
No,
they become 2D.
Buttboy, I asked you a question. You've got a
They don't
one-dimensional
become
line
2D.
taken
You
into a
can't do
2-dimensional
that.
space by curving it. How do you express that in a 3-dimensional world?
With X, Y, Z coordinate, you can do it.
So how would you show me that? How would you can say X, Y, Z till it comes out of your ears, but how do you show me that?
I don't actually know the answer to that.
Well, there you go. You can't show me that.
No, I said, well, I
You
don't know the
can't
answer.
show
I
what,
can
DP?
He can't show me. A line is one-dimensional. A curved line is two-dimensional.
Right.
He can't show me that one-dimensional line in taking up a two-dimensional space because we live in a three-dimensional space.
I would do it in
But
AutoCAD.
a plane, which is two-dimensional, can be shown in a three-dimensional space.
I would do it in AutoCAD easily by drawing
Yeah,
it.
but that's wrong. I'm asking you to show me, give me a real world demonstration, butt boy. You can't. All you can
AutoCAD
do.
isn't in the real world.
AutoCAD's in a computer, you knob.
So why don't you come over and I'll show you?
Oh, you want to fight
What?
again now? You want me to come over because you want to fight me now?
Well, I can't show it to you on the computer, so how am I going to show it to you, genius?
You can't show it on the computer.
Can't show it on the whiteboard because that's two-dimensional. Certain.
I think he's trying to get you to realise that you wouldn't be able to.
You can't.
No, I
you
didn't say
can't
that.
show that one-dimensional line bending into two-dimensional space because we don't live in two-dimensional space.
Bev can draw a curved line on the whiteboard, and that's that's a representation of a one-dimensional line.
Oh, butt boy, you're such an idiot.
Why is that wrong?
You
because
are an
the world
idiot.
doesn't exist on a whiteboard.
That's a two-dimensional
We're
area.
in but we are in 3D.
So then why did
you are
bring it up?
confusing what you can draw on a whiteboard with I've just realised what you're doing. Oh my god.
Paige, DP asked how I can show.
Do you think we're little flat things stuck on a whiteboard that you just draw
Why are you getting
everything's
triggered?
2D?
Why are you getting triggered?
No,
Listen to
I
what
can't.
DP asked.
The penny has just fucking dropped. Oh my god. I'm speechless.
DP asked. Did you hear what DP asked?
No, I didn't.
He asked, "Can you draw a one-D
I'll tell you what, I'll
line in
repeat
two-dimensional space?"
I want you to demonstrate to me, real world, a one-dimensional line being bent into two-dimensional space. That's what I'm asking.
Into two-dimensional space?
Yeah, you couldn't. You'd have to be drawn on a whiteboard.
Right. There you go.
And
so
we're
you
not.
can't give me that demonstration, butt boy. Well done.
Yes, I could draw a curved line on a whiteboard. Can you?
Do we live on that whiteboard?
Is that two-dimensional?
Did I say we lived on the whiteboard, or did I answer the question that DP asked? Paige.
But you're using the math for the whiteboard to say that's reality.
No, I didn't. He asked.
You're drawing your two dimensions on a fucking whiteboard and saying that's reality. It's not. We live in 3D.
Quiet. I answered the question. He talked about 2D.
I asked you for a practical demonstration. I want a real-world example of a line being bent into two-dimensional space. All you're doing is drawing a line on a whiteboard. You retard.
So, Paige, when in there did DP?
Oh, don't appeal to me.
No,
you are a retard, butt boy.
When?
No, you're telling me I'm getting triggered, so don't.
Yeah, so go away.
Yeah, so don't address me then.
Careful, butt boy.
Okay. Oh,
very close. Very close.
Oh, very close to what? Hurting somebody's feelings.
You know, if you weren't so emotional, you might actually get this. You know, like if you just calm down and actually listen to what we're saying, like you might have a light bulb moment like I just did. You know?
But you didn't.
He's got too much of an ego.
Yeah.
Where he talked about 2D, and when I answered in 2D, you complained that I didn't.
You're too worried about winning this one particular argument rather than seeing the whole picture and understanding how you are reifying this 2D math into the 3D world we live in.
No,
you're concentrating on one little specific tiny little thing.
No.
Sorry,
Denial. That's all he's got.
Yeah, no.
It's funny that when I brought the discussion down to one dimension and then put it into 2D space,
because you can't put the whole picture together. You can't put the 1, 2, and 3 together and see how what you're actually doing because you're too emotional about it.
What does meters squared mean, Paige? When we measure things in
Honestly,
meters
I have
squared.
no idea. I don't know.
Okay,
I
so
don't know anything about math.
Can you learn about it? You don't know what meters squared is? What
Of
is
course I
it?
can.
It's a
You just saw
square
me learn
dimension.
something. You just heard me fucking learn something right then. How dare you say that?
You missed it. So I already explained what
You
meters squared is.
condescending bastard.
He doesn't
God.
explain anything, does he, Paige? This is one of the
No.
points that I think Paige is trying to tell you, Chunky, right? You have
Linear.
to, if you want to claim to be a teacher, you have to be able to express
I never
it, what it is you are talking
Yes.
about. Right?
Not just make the person feel inadequate.
And
None
that's
of
where you
us.
fail, butt boy.
None of us
Okay,
know what
Paige.
you're talking about. We're trying to make
Paige,
you
do you want to
understand
bring
that
it back?
Why,
you
why
have to
can't you
express
stop
yourself better.
talking?
Do you want to bring it back to a reasonable conversation?
You're incapable
Jeez,
of
I
that,
thought
butt
it
boy.
was. I don't hear anybody being unreasonable.
So would you like to have a conversation with me without being interrupted by Deb?
No, I'm quite happy for them to interrupt.
Okay. But do you
We're
want to have a
all
conversation?
here. We're all.
You just
it's
having.
it's like if we were sitting around a campfire, you wouldn't tell somebody not to, join in the conversation. Just because you can't see somebody's face doesn't mean
Sure.
we're not all in this conversation together.
Okay, good. All right. So let's talk about 3, 0, 1, 2, and 3 dimensions. You know what a cube is, right? It's a 3-dimensional object
Yeah.
with equal
You
size.
start off at 3.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going
Yes.
backwards.
What?
Yeah. So a cube is a
Let's
3-dimensional.
start at 1. Let's start at 1 dimension.
No.
Let's take it.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's take it from the beginning.
Okay.
Let's start from
with
1
0.
dimension.
Okay, you have 1 dimension. You have a length.
Penis.
The length is 1. We'll call it 1 unit. It doesn't matter what it is. If you
Right,
then
so
turn it into
forward.
2 dimensions. Sure.
So,
Yes.
okay, so we've gone a meter forward. That's one.
Yeah.
1 dimension.
Now
so
we're
if we
going to
add
go 2 dimensions.
sideways,
Yes. Now we
right,
have
and then we add up and down.
right, but first we're adding sideways, so
Right.
that makes a square. It's a 1-unit
Makes
square.
a triangle,
Yes,
actually.
because you can go. Is it?
Yeah, it's a triangle. You've only gone 3 points. You've got your start point, your forward, 1 meter. That's
Forward,
a point, and then you've gone
1 meter.
right 1
Sideways.
point. That's
No.
Sideways,
just done-
1 point.
you've
Yeah,
just done
we would have to go
orthogonon.
straight back and then straight across again. We'd have
Yeah.
to go like
We're
forward,
trans-
sideways, backwards,
taking our
other
line
sideways.
That's an
and we're giving it a
orthogonon.
width
You've just done
of
there.
1 meter. We take our line, Paige, that's 1 unit long.
What-
Can we
Yeah,
call it
I'm
1
listening
meter?
to
What
you.
shape is an orthogonon?
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
we have our 1 meter long, 1-dimensional line.
8.
Now we're
isn't
going to give it a width.
No, it's oct.
We're going to give it a width
Right.
of 1 meter.
Yep.
Right, so it's 1 meter long and 1 meter wide.
And 1 meter wide. Yep. Front,
That makes a
forward, and
square.
sideways.
Right, so that's 1
Well,
meter times 1 meter.
2 lines.
Let's see.
Yeah.
1 meter times 1 meter is 1 meter squared, right?
Let's see that.
Oh, right. I getcha. Yeah. Squared. Yes.
So,
Because it's a square now.
Now, we don't do this in math, but we know that 1 meter can also be expressed as 1 meter to the power of 1. Right? But we don't do that because
We know. I mean, in maths, we know that
Why
1 is
would you
1.
do that?
Is that an axiom
Yeah.
within maths?
that's what it means.
Why?
1
yeah.
equals 1.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what it means.
Yeah, totality, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, 1's 1,
Yeah, okay.
obviously. You don't want anyone thinking that 1 isn't 1.
1's 2.
Yeah, I mean, that would be stupid, wouldn't it? I mean,
and
we have
go
that
back
within
to the
geometry,
goal.
like straight. But, I mean,
we go back 1 step, and 1 meter to the power of 0 is our point. And that's not even meters anymore. That's 1, right? Something to the power of 0 is just 1.
something to the power of 0 is
What?
1?
What if it's
No,
10
no,
to
that's...
the power of 0?
I'm
How can
not
that be 1?
so sure that's correct.
Still 1.
I'm not
That is
going with that.
100% correct.
I can't
What?
get you to say
8
that.
to the power of 0 is 1.
Yes.
No.
What?
I'll
No.
show you that later.
That's
Okay.
weird.
What chat would you
No,
like me to put it
show us now, Butt Boy. You've made the claim. Show us now.
in? No, I'm driving. So,
Well, don't make the
No, I'm
claim then. If
driving.
you can't back it up, don't make the claim.
so you can't wait
Retard.
15, 20 minutes.
But
So,
I'll
What?
be
anyways,
asleep by then, mate. It's
You,
like
but
so
you
at
say
midnight.
you can't wait 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll
And
get
then
fuck all from you.
When you
Butt
get
Boy.
home,
It's always the
you
way.
just disappear.
page. So
I
that's
don't know why
zero
you can.
dimensions,
It's a
right? There's
weird
no more
work
meters.
time today.
because A meter to the power of zero is
What,
just
you
one.
went
It's
back
no
to
longer a
the
meter.
beginning and
Yeah.
disappeared your square?
Right. Right. So now
So
we're
when-
back.
He's
when
going
we
to
get into
disappear
the
up his
third
own arse
dimension?
soon. You wait.
So we're at the square now. 1 meter squared. Correct. That's an area.
Okay, so we got our
Hang
square
on. How
back.
did we get
okay.
from a triangle to the
Now,
square?
now let's give that an even
Orthogonal.
Boy.
thickness
How
of
how
1.
did you get from the triangle?
We didn't have a triangle.
Yes, you did.
It
You
had
had
an
you had 2
orthogonal.
points. You had a line.
Page.
Forwards and a sideways. That's all right. I understand
Make
what you're saying.
him
Okay,
acknowledge the
we've got it.
orthogonon.
What's an orthogonon? I don't even know what an orthogonon is.
It's that perpendicular.
Shout out to Bob the Science Guy.
Yeah, yeah.
What? Is that another word for
Have a look in
perpendicular?
debate discussion.
Oh, hang
I
on.
think that's just another word for square.
Ooh.
Have you got the
Oh.
orthogonal going on, Butt Boy?
Oh, holy shit!
It's
that's
a new
Butt boy.
learning vehicle, right, for this particular thing. I mean, it has X, Y, and Z, and the relationship is perpendicular.
Which is the point from a fixed origin, the polar angle measured from a fixed zenith, and the azimuthal angle from its orthogonal projection on a reference plane that passes through the origin and the orthogon at its zenith. In other words, when you include the radius as a given, it is a two-dimensional system, alt as.
That is an orthogonon. It is both triangle and square. Shows the relationship between the right angled triangle and the square also. Shows you the importance of the right angle, basically.
Well, the right angle triangle's a half of a square, isn't it?
A rectangle.
It's a quarter as well in the middle.
It was
It's
half-
four right
it's half
angles.
of a rectangle.
But
Is
a
it
right
a rectangle or
triangle
half
is-
of a rectangle?
It's half of a
So is that the shape there?
That's that orthogonon, yeah. But particularly, it's only involved
that what
around
that
that centre point. You can forget about the shapes around the outside.
Oh,
It's just
'cause
the perpendicular gone anon.
yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's a perpendicular gone.
Actually,
you know.
yeah, it's a
That's so
skeletal
cool. They're all
octahedron.
triangles and squares.
Mm-hmm. We
That's
we
so
made
cool.
that as a learning tool, or particularly Plague did that.
That's great for
custom
visualization, yeah. Oh, is that why that guy had the little finger opener thing that you make with paper and said, can you
Yeah.
said something, can you animate this or something? I
Yeah.
thought, I wonder what he's asked that for.
Yeah.
Now I understand it's one of them. Wow.
Can Butt Boy explain what it is? Does he know what it
You
is?
can,
Does
you can even
Does he
see
know
the
its relevance?
squares.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I know it's
Depends on
relevant
how
to
you look at it, what you see.
XYZ, yeah? It's very relevant within this 2D, 3D.
I thought you guys
Do you
said
see
Z.
how? Do you
What
see
you
how
saying?
you've
Your
got
robot in, Butt
3D
Boy?
in
What
there?
did you...
Butt boy?
Yeah, each of the two-dimensional planes have a plane perpendicular to them.
What's your name? Brad, isn't it? That's right, Brad. I think I'll call you
Butt
Brad,
boy.
not Butt boy. Yes.
Okay, so Paige, back to our
He
square.
likes Butt Boy.
No,
Like,
it's
can
your
you see
level.
how you can see that as triangles going in or squares that are like shifting around each other? Can you see? Can you see that?
Maybe orthogonal planes, maybe.
Wow.
Three two-dimensional planes perpendicular, to each other. It's
Three
fantastic.
three. One, two,
Fucking
three.
fantastic. It's almost as though we were
Yeah.
making this in the background, thinking about the 2D, 3D argument that you seem to have, Brad.
Well, all planes are two-dimensional. That's still a two-dimensional shape.
Yeah, can you imagine, though, the surface of a sphere being one of those two-dimensional surfaces in that thing? I can't.
No.
I'm struggling.
No.
Actually, Butt Boy, that's a three-dimensional shape. It's called an octahedron. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was just going to say, are these 2D or 3D then, Butt Boy?
Are we talking about the surfaces of it? Are we talking about the planes? Are we talking about...
I'm talking about the
solid base
shapes.
clothes?
I'm talking about the
I can't
shapes.
see it.
Are they 3D or 2D shapes, Butt Boy?
If it's a shape, it's two-dimensional. If it's a solid, it's three-dimensional.
Oh, you can't even see it. You're not even looking at it.
That's right. So, Paige, getting back to
you're
our...
such a coward.
Far out.
You
Yeah,
are
you
such
might
a
actually
coward,
understand
Butt
if you
Boy.
looked at this.
Because I have a job, I'm a coward, BP?
No,
Okay, so that's irrelevant.
because you won't look at the things I've posted.
Why would I look at something when I'm driving?
When did I say anything about his
Why
job?
would I look at something because I'm driving?
No,
I'm not
yeah,
a coward to
he's
not look at something.
made up
I'm not
shit because he's driving and he can't look at it.
Well,
Yeah,
he looked at the
Why don't you
animation
just
while
say
he
that
was
then?
driving.
I'm driving, remember?
80 kilometers an hour and
He
it's
looked at
wintertime. Why would
he
I
looked
look
at the animation while he was driving, but he just won't
didn't
look at
Everyone looks at their phone when they're
the others that
driving.
I've posted.
God.
I didn't look at the animation. My phone is black right now because
So how do you know what we're talking about then?
you explained it, G.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Paige, I'm almost at work, so I got to go in a minute, about 3 minutes. Be fine.
No worries.
So we have our square, 1 meter square, correct?
Yeah.
It's two-dimensional now. It's a line with a second dimension added, a width, equal width. Now we're going to add a third dimension, an equal height of 1. Now we have 1 meter cubed, right?
Yep. So
Okay.
almost one of these things, not quite though.
Yeah, has a volume of 1 meter cubed.
Filled in, it would be a cube if all those.
He loves talking about
at the
cubes.
moment, all he's got is a 90-degree angle.
It has 6 surfaces.
And he's nowhere near a sphere either. Like we're still on.
And he's far
square.
from a cube.
But now we have 3 dimensions. Length,
He's
width,
far from a cube. He's just got you've still only got 2 dimensions, Butt Boy. You've got a right angle.
No.
2 planes at a right angle is what you've got.
Okay, Paige. He's completely lost it because he's trying to think of something smart to say and he ended up. So, but you understand it. We have a 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter cube.
I can go there. Fine. Yes. We're at a cube now. Okay.
And it's expressed as 1 meter cubed, 1 meter to the power of 3.
Right.
And that's volume. That's 3 dimensions. It has 6
right.
spaces.
Yep.
Because you've given it the cubes. It's now the
I
volume.
haven't given it. It's given. It's a property of a volume.
It's a given that it is a cube.
No, it's not given.
Because it's got volume.
Volume. Because it has 3 dimensions.
Yeah, so it's a given.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a given that 3 dimensions have 3 dimensions, yes.
Yeah, and it has volume because it's got 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Volume is 3 dimensions. It has 6
Yeah.
1 meter squared sides, surfaces, right?
Hey?
A cube
Oh, right.
has,
Yep,
has
okay.
6 1 meter
Sorry,
squared.
I thought you meant square had 6 sides. I'm thinking what? But you're talking about a cube. Yeah, okay.
in his
And
world,
those
it probably
are
does somewhere.
1 meter squared, so they're 2 dimensions.
Hang on, what? Sorry, say that again?
Those are 1 meter squared, and they have 2 dimensions. Length and width.
They are 6 two-dimensional squares.
Yeah, faces, surfaces, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Yeah, all you have done is developed the surface.
Yeah, has
a
developable
How do you
surface.
do that to a sphere? Can you now explain to me how you do that to a sphere, please? Because I absolutely understand the square. That's great.
Yeah. and then it has 12 one-dimensional.
Now, she asked you
edges.
to explain to her
Yeah,
how
why
that is
are you
done
going back
to
to
a
the square?
sphere.
You did a wonderful job teaching me about the square. I
Okay.
understand the square and the cube. That's
When does it gain a dimension by changing its shape? When does it gain a...
No, hang on. Why are you asking the student to explain something to you?
It's called the Socratic method.
Well, just explain to her
Okay,
what she's
I
asked
have
you to explain,
absolutely
butt boy.
no idea.
Okay.
So can you please just explain to me what we did on the sphere? How do I then do that on a sphere, please?
Well, hey, so you guys were talking about origami, I think, or something like that before?
No, you're talking about origami.
What?
We are asking you
Paige.
how you
I'm talking
develop
about a
the
sphere.
surface of a
Okay.
sphere.
Do you know what?
Fuck
Do you
is
know
this
what
guy
origami is?
origami?
Butt boy, stop
Do you,
obfuscating, you idiot.
are
Explain
you
to
running the
Paige
show? I
how
am.
you develop the surface of a sphere the same way you have developed your surface of a cube.
The
Please,
surface
if
of
you
You
a
did a
can't
sphere
do
good
is
it,
job
just
explaining
say,
the
I
cube. I
can't do it.
totally understand how
Paige.
to create a cube now and what it means.
Have
But
you ever seen a
I
cube
cannot
with
understand how to now do that on a sphere. So could you please explain the same thing you just did with the sphere? Can you please go through that on the sphere, please? Because I don't understand how to do it on a sphere. I can't think of how to do that.
Well, it's non-developable, so you're asking me a question that doesn't make any sense. The surface of a sphere does not.
So you
why
can't.
didn't
It
you
can't be
tell me
done.
that?
Ah.
So yeah.
You can wait for me to stop, or are you just going to keep
Is
going?
that
I have
because
about
it's a
30
3D surface then?
The surface
Well done,
of the
butt
sphere
boy.
is two-dimensional.
Well
Then it
done,
would
butt
be
boy.
developable.
Why would it be?
Because it's
Because
2D.
it would be the same as the square,
No.
the cube.
Non-developable.
2D surfaces are developable.
No. You're talking
Oh,
about
my
2D
brain
No,
hurts.
just no. Just no.
Okay, so
Just no.
which chat would
This
you
is
like
why
me to put?
I hated this stuff in school.
Butt boy, you're such a retard, man.
So I'm going to put some links in the chat that Bev won't read, but hopefully Paige and DP.
No. We're not bothered about things that you
Yeah, it's all right.
look at. Like,
I
please
totally
explain it.
understand now. Yeah, that you are completely wrong.
So
you
when
have an
Then
idea.
no
You have an
humility.
idea, that you have in your head that you cannot express in reality. You've demonstrated
Paige-
that by continuously obfuscating and by talking over me just now, and by not answering me
I'm
when I
about to
asked
part,
you.
so I'm going to
See?
say bye.
Yep. Okay. No worries. Bye bye.
So,
See you later, obfuscator.
but I tried to interrupt you because I'm answering your question. You have that cube. Let's say it's made out of completely
What do you mean
pliable
she
surface.
didn't get a chance to say what she was saying and now you're talking
When you
again?
blow it up
She was
into a
talking
sphere,
about you
what-
obfuscating, which is you're just doing it again.
Paige, when you blow that cube up into a sphere, when does it gain a third dimension?
When you blow that
When you
cube up
blow
into
that
a
cube
sphere.
up
Blow
into
it
a
up
sphere.
and turn it into
Surface
a
gets
bloody
thicker.
What
3D.
the fuck are you talking
Oh,
about, you
holy
twat?
shit. That's like I said, look, I said this
Hey.
before, Brad, about the rabbit. You draw a rabbit and you pull it off the whiteboard and you blow it up and it turns into a 3D. You've just done that with the fucking sphere. Oh, my goodness.
Surface
Just
gains a
go,
dimension.
mate.
But his
Just go.
ego is just so big that he
Yeah.
can't see it, Paige.
Does the
He
surface
just
gain
really
a dimension?
cannot see where he has fucked up. He
It's
just
all
can't see
right
it.
to be wrong,
He's got no
Brad. There's
humility.
nothing wrong with that. And
He
it's
just can't. He just won't admit it to himself.
okay if it was
Does
because
the
you were
surface-
taught that and the person who taught you was wrong.
Does the surface
Brad,
gain...
The only time
Brad, you're a
you're
walking
wrong,
fuck
Brad,
up.
is when you keep saying you're right even though you've been shown wrong. Obviously.
Right. Good day,
That's
everybody.
the only time you're going to be wrong, is if you keep
See you later,
doing this.
obfuscator.
Think about it, mate. Have a good day or night, whatever.
He'll be back tomorrow doing the same thing, or
Yeah.
maybe later. He seems to be late into going into work today. This isn't usual time, is it?
What's time?
It's midday. I think he's normally
Midday
a
for
little
him.
bit earlier, isn't he? Or
Yeah, it is late to start.
no, he
midday.
comes back at about 9, doesn't he? 8,
Oh yeah, that would be
he
his,
might
yeah.
be like
yeah.
a late afternoon shift, yeah.
Well,
Probably
we'll see.
stopped
No,
at
he's in
McDonald's
Canada,
or something.
Paige. It's early in the
is
morning
he?
for him. Yeah, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning for him.
Oh, of course, he's got American.
7:23.
All right, sorry, mate.
No, it's all
That
good.
was amazing when I said to him, okay, I understand the cube. Now, can you explain to me how you do that on a sphere? And he just kept going back to the square or...
Paige, when you blow that cube up into a sphere, when does it gain a third dimension?
Yep, talking about fucking whatever it was that he said. Oh, my goodness.
Paige, when you blow that cube up into a sphere, when does it gain a third dimension?
Like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. Now you put water into a cup, you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend, water. Like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow, or it can crash.